Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the European Football All-Time channel, and today welcome to my Game Week 15 Serie A predictions. I mean, how is it match 15? What is going on? It's nearly Christmas! But yeah, make sure to smash the like, subscribe, no messing a bit. Let's get into the fucking video, mate. And the first game of matchday 15 is a big game down at the bottom, as it is Lecce versus Pisa. That game is taking place tonight. 17th versus 18th, and a big game really for both teams. A win for Pisa. I think they will move out of the relegation zone on goal difference. Lecce, if they win, they can move 6 points clear of the bottom three, which yeah, it's a big game for both teams really. I mean, both teams are pretty crap, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really expecting this game to be a good game in my opinion, so I'm gonna go 0-0. It's probably gonna be boring, so yeah, Lecce 0, Pisa 0. And now we move on to Torino versus Cremonese. Now, Torino have been struggling a bit recently, and also Torino are currently 16th. They're actually only 4 points above the drop Torino, so it's not really going too great for them at the moment. They did lose their last game 3-2. They did lose their last game 3-2 against Milan, so yeah, they nearly got a point, but unlucky, I guess. Cremonese beat Lecce 2-0, quite comfortable win for them. But a big game for both teams really. Torino need to win to push away from the relegation zone. I mean, a win for Cremonese, they could. How many points they can go off Europe? Yeah, if they win Cremonese, they could go up to like 7th, which is kind of mad. To be fair, well, that's obviously depending on the other results. But I'm gonna go with a draw. Torino on the day can be good, so my prediction is 2-2. And we move on to another big game between Parma and Lazio. Now, Parma also 4 points above the drop. No, points, sorry, no. Yeah, I was right, 4 points above the drop, so they could do with a win in this game as well. Lazio, I mean, if they win, they could go closer to Europe, so I mean, Parma, because they probably need it a bit more, because if they lose, other teams around them when they could slip down a bit more. But I mean, you never know really what Lazio team turn up, to be fair. I mean, one week they can be good, one week they can be average, and one week they can just be crap. But I think Lazio will win. It'll be a tight game. I don't normally predict Lazio to win these sorts of games, but I think they will do it. I'm going to go 2-1 to It's-a-me, Lazio. And the next game, we have got Atalanta versus Cagliari at the New Balance Arena, or the Gara Stadium, whatever you want to call it. Atalanta, even though they did actually lose to Hellas Verona last week, they did beat Chelsea in midweek in the Carabao Cup. No, not Carabao Cup, what am I about? In the Champions League, sorry. But yeah, a good win for Atalanta that was. I mean, I'm watching the highlights. Chelsea were quite bad, to be fair. Cagliari actually beat Roma, in fairness to them. Fair play, because Roma were down to 10 as well. But overall, fair play for Cagliari just to win in that game, because Roma have been very good under Gasperini this season. But I think Atalanta will be feeling confident after that victory in midweek against Chelsea. The confidence will be high. So I'm going to go 3-0 Atalanta. And we move on to Sunday, and we start with a decent game, I think. Could be a potential live stream, maybe, between AC Milan and Sassuolo, which should be good. In my opinion, it is top versus 8th. AC Milan obviously will be looking to extend their gap at the top, while Sassuolo will be looking to keep their European charge alive. I mean, 8th place at the moment. They've been flying, Sassuolo, since returning to Serie A. But this will be a tough game for them. AC Milan have been very good under Allegri. They've definitely been more organised and just better since Allegri's appointment. But Sassuolo, I do remember a couple of years ago, I think they went to San Siro and they won 5-2. I think Sassuolo, something like that. So maybe Sassuolo could win again. But I'm going to go with a narrow 2-0 win for AC Milan. And now we move on to 20th versus 19th, as it is Fiorentina against Hellas Verona. I cannot believe, by the way, that Fiorentina are actually bottom of the league. I mean, that is absolutely mind-blowing how they're bottom of the league. I mean, it's just been terrible, really. But they did get a decent win last night against Dynamo Kiev, so maybe that win will hopefully bring a bit of confidence coming into this. But Verona, I mean, they did beat Atalanta, so fair play to them. They'll be feeling confident coming into this. But for Fiorentina, they've got to win this game. They have to win this game. They cannot beat Verona, who defensively aren't really that great. I mean, neither are Fiorentina, but Fiorentina going forward are better than Verona, and I think a lot of people can admit that. So this has to be a victory for Fiorentina, and I think it will. I think Firenze will get their first win of the season after 15 games. Took them a while, but I think they'll win 2-1. And we now move on to the champions Napoli, who travelled to Udine to take on Udinese. Napoli obviously level on points at the moment with Milan. I mean, they're only below Milan on goal difference, so they could do with a win here, Conte's men. Udinese they seem to do okay against the big boys, but I mean, I know Napoli also did lose in midweek against Benfica, which wasn't ideal, but Napoli, they just seem to be terrible in Europe under Conte. I don't know why, especially away as well. But yeah, my prediction is 3-0 to Napoli. I think it'll be a comfortable win for Conte's men. And we move on to Genoa versus... Give me a second. It's Genoa against Inter Milan. I mean, this shirt will probably bring back memories to Inter fans, because this is the shirt from the 2010 Champions League final. I mean, I actually got this for my birthday yesterday, so it's actually really cool, to be fair. I mean, annoyingly, the Italy thing which was here fell off. I don't think it was stitched on properly, but anyway. But Inter fans, does this bring back memories, and does this man on the back bring memories as well? I don't know if you can see or not, but I can't remember what his name is, but it was the guy who scored both goals in the final. So yeah, here's a bit of nostalgia for any Inter fans. But yeah, anyway, back to this game. Inter, I think they'll win, to be honest. Genoa, where are Genoa in the table? Let's have a look. They are currently sat 14th. Again, they are 4 points above the drop, so they could do with a win as well. But Inter, I mean, I know they did lose to Liverpool in midweek, but speaking of that game, that was never a penalty, by the way. Never a pen, but yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 into Milan. I think it'll be a comfortable win for the Nerazzurri. And we move on to Bologna against Juve. It is 5th versus 7th in the race for Europe, I'd say. This is because obviously I think the title race at the moment is probably Milan, Napoli, Inter and Roma, in my opinion. So this is a big game for the race for Europe, to be fair. Bologna, I think they played yesterday. I'm not sure how they got on. Juve, so they got a comfortable victory against Paphos in midweek. I mean, how did they do last week? Obviously, Juve lost against Napoli in the league. Bologna, meanwhile, who did Bologna play? They drew 1-0 at Lazio, which isn't a bad result, to be fair, I guess. But both teams will be wanting a win here to push up the table and keep their European dreams alive. Could go either way, really. Both teams are good, so I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. And the final game of this game week, it is Roma versus Como at the Stadio Olimpico, which I think should be a good game, in my opinion. Obviously, Roma, I mean, they absolutely thumped Celtic 4-0 last night in the Europa League. Great win for them. Como, obviously, they're not in Europe, but they did, I mean, they got battered, really, 4-0 by Inter last week. So a night to forget at the San Siro for Como. But they'll be looking to bounce back, and it won't be an easy game against this Roma side, who've been very good under Gasperini. But I have a feeling Como will get something. You know, I think they'll be angered after that result last week against Inter. They'll be very annoyed. I mean, to be fair, I think what Fabregas said after the game was, I mean, like, what is he on about? But yeah, I'm going to go with a draw. Roma 2, Como 2. And there we go. That's the end of the video. So thank you for watching. Smash a like, subscribe. See you next time.